Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Diana Ford, and I'm a System Navigator with the System Navigation team. This is the first in a series of newly remodeled webinars designed to focus on how to effectively utilize the Managed Education Registry Information tool known as MERIT. As a kind reminder for this evening's presentation, all participants will remain on mute. Please enter any questions you may have in the chat box located at the bottom of your screen. We have set aside some time at the end of the presentation to answer any questions you may have regarding the topics covered in today's webinar. Today, we will be focusing on the basic steps of managing a MERIT account. Maybe you're just getting started, or perhaps you haven't used your MERIT account in a while and need to update information in your record. This webinar is specifically for managing an individual record and not a facility or site. If you are needing assistance with navigating a facility site, we will be offering a webinar in the coming months. You are welcome to subscribe to our PD newsletter to receive the details for this upcoming webinar. Please visit the link that has been placed in the chat for more information. For today's webinar, we will be reviewing how to register in MERIT, which includes applying for a STARS ID, how to log into an existing account, how to locate and access the applications in MERIT, how to update information in your professional record. This includes personal information, health and safety information, employment, and viewing state-approved training history, as well as information regarding helpful early learning resources. So let's get started with how to access the MERIT registry. You may find the MERIT website at apps.dcyf.wa.gov/MERIT. We have placed this link in the chat for your convenience. Clicking the blue Sign In or Register button will take you to the MERIT login page. The first step will be to enter your first name, last name, and date of birth. Please note that this information must match your current identification card. Do not use any preferred or nicknames. And lastly, middle names are optional and not required. For step 2, you will want to enter your email address under the primary email section. It is important to add a valid email address as you will need to access the activation link that is sent once registration is complete. Adding an additional email is optional and not required as all communication is sent to the primary email. Step 3 is to create a password. When choosing a password, please be aware that the selected password you enter must meet the required criteria. You will then be required to re-enter your password to confirm it matches and meets these password requirements. Step 4 will be to select a password hint from the drop-down menu and type in the password hint answer. This will ensure that you have another way of accessing your MERIT account should you forget your username or password. After clicking the orange Save button, the email with the activation link will be sent to your primary email address. This is an example of the email with the activation link that is sent to your primary email from merit@dcyf.wa.gov. If you do not see this activation email in your inbox, please be sure to check your spam or junk folders. If the activation email does arrive in your spam or junk folder, please add the MERIT address to your email contacts. We have placed this in the chat. This will ensure that any automated emails generated from the MERIT site will be received in your inbox. After clicking on the activation link, you will then be able to log into your MERIT account using the password you created during registration. Your email address is automatically set as your username. If you already have an existing MERIT account, you can sign in here using your username and password. If you need assistance in retrieving your login credentials, you can locate your username, password, or STARS ID by clicking any of these selections. We will now review each of these options. If you forget your username, you will need to enter your primary email address or your STARS ID number, as well as your first name, last name, or date of birth. Then, simply click on the blue Find My Username button. If you forget your password, you can reset it by entering your username. This may be your primary email address or your STARS ID. Click on the orange Continue button to proceed. To find your STARS ID, you will be required to enter your first name, last name, and date of birth. Then click on the blue Search button. One of the most common issues users experience is not receiving the email with the activation link. This is typically caused when there is a typo in the primary email address entered during registration. If you do not receive an activation link, please send an email with your full name, date of birth, and correct email address. The system navigation team will correct your email and resend the activation link. The second most common issue account holders experience is receiving an alert that states that there is already an account that matches your information. If you receive this message and cannot access your account using the account recovery tools, please send us an email with your full name, date of birth, and current email address. The system navigation team will confirm if you already have an existing account and provide you with your next steps. Once your Merit account has been activated, the next step is to apply for a STARS ID. You may select the application by clicking on the blue Apply for a STARS ID link or by clicking on the My Applications tab. Step 1 of the STARS ID application is to enter your personal information. Please be sure to complete all required fields. You will want to confirm that your first name, last name, and date of birth all match your current photo identification. If there are any corrections that need to be made, you will be able to make those edits during this step. When you are ready to proceed, click the blue Next button. Please note that Section 2, Adding Employment Information, is optional and can be skipped, as any employment can be added after you have obtained your STARS ID number. Click on the blue Next button to proceed to Section 3, the Submit page, which is the last part of the application and only requires an electronic signature. To submit an application in Merit, you will electronically sign forms using only your first and last name. After you submit your application, a message will pop up that states, "Congratulations! The Merit professional record and applications will now be unlocked." An email will be sent with the STARS ID and Merit username. Now, let's take a closer look at the My Applications tab. Clicking on this tab will take you to the list of applications that are available in Merit. These applications will be automatically unlocked once you have been assigned a STARS ID. To access and submit any of these applications, simply click on the hyperlinked title. For example, this is where you can access and submit the Portable Background Check application. When you first log into your Merit account, you will automatically land on your My Record tab. From here, you can access all tabs and sub-tabs of your account. For today, our primary focus will be on the Professional Record sub-tab. However, you will notice two more sub-tabs: Change Password, as well as Change Security Question. These are utilized to change your password and update the security question and answer as needed. Right now, we are looking at the landing page of a new Merit user who has registered and applied for a STARS ID, but has not yet added any information to their professional record. Please note that your landing page may not look the same as others after employment has been added, and that's okay. To go to your professional record, click the link at the top of the page. Your professional record is where most of your account information is stored and managed. We will now review the basic sections of a Merit professional record. These include personal data, health and safety information, employment information, and state-approved training history. Most information listed under the Personal Data section can be edited by you, the account owner. This includes email, contact information, and mailing address. However, certain information can only be updated or changed by a merit administrator. This includes name, gender selection, and date of birth. This is because this information can be linked to a portable background check. Should you need to update your name or date of birth, you must email a scanned or photographed copy of one of the following identification types in order to receive assistance with updating your record. It is encouraged to submit information as soon as possible so this does not affect a portable background check. Next is the Health and Safety Information section. This section is used to self-enter health and safety pre-service and training records such as bloodborne pathogen, CPR, first aid, food handler's permit, and the TB test. Kindly note that Safe Sleep and Federal Health and Safety Training modules are courses that are not self-entered in this section. These trainings are automatically recorded and verified in Merit once they have been completed on the DCYF training site, which is a separate platform. To self-enter a record, select the blue Click Here to Add Health and Safety Information button. A pop-up box will appear under the training type. Use the drop-down menu to make your selection. Depending on the selection, you may be prompted to enter additional information. This may include the date the training was completed and when it expires. Once you save the record, it will display as self-entered until it is either confirmed by your employer or verified by a licensor. An area we often receive inquiries about is how to add or edit a current employment record. Updating a job role through the professional record page is how a user attaches themselves to the employee roster for a facility or site. Individuals can add new employment or end date previous job roles. However, only a merit administrator can delete or edit the start date of an existing record. If a mistake is made and the wrong employment information is entered, please contact the system navigation team. Let's say that you are in the process of becoming an early learning childcare provider and your license is currently pending. In this case, you will need to choose the job title I am currently applying from the drop-down menu. This job title is a placeholder and may also be used for multiple programs when you are going through the hiring process for a position in childcare. Next, you will need to search for your employer by entering the facility site name or the licensed facility site ID number. If you do not have this information, please ask your employer. Once you have located the correct facility, please click on the Select button and then Save. The next part of adding your employment is to enter your employment start date. Please note that a start date cannot be set in the future. Once you enter your start date, simply click on the Save button. If you are no longer working at a facility, you will want to add an end date to the employment record. You can do this by clicking on the Edit icon. Adding an end date to your employment record will remove you from the employer's facility site profile. However, if the status of your employment is still listed as self-entered, you will need to make sure to request that the employer confirm your job role prior to adding an end date. This is because your employer will no longer have access to your record once the end date has been added. Once your end date has been added, simply click the Save button. If an end date is added by mistake, please reach out to the system navigation team for assistance. Now, let's take a look at the state-approved training history section. This is where state-approved trainings are recorded, and as you can see, there are 3 sections. Initial basic training is where childcare basics and school age basics are recorded. These are also known as the 30-hour basics training. Annual continuing education is where all in-service trainings are recorded. Other trainings completed is for courses that are not eligible for in-service training hours. For example, the child care licensing orientation modules, as well as the electronic attendance training. Kindly note that all state-approved training is added to your merit record by the trainer, typically within 30 days of completion. It is important to provide your STARS ID when registering for state-approved trainings. This will ensure your completed courses are correctly updated to merit. We hope that this presentation has offered better insight into how to get set up and started in the Merit Registry. Please feel free to visit our Merit Workforce Registry webpage for helpful resources and additional information regarding the management of a merit record. We have placed this link in the chat. Of course, you are always welcome to reach out to our team of system navigators with any questions, comments, or concerns. Don't forget to check out our link to the Professional Development Engagement Efforts webpage. There, you can access existing webinars as well as sign up to receive the Early Care and Education newsletter. We will place this link in the chat. Please be sure to also watch out for communication regarding our upcoming Merit webinars. The next webinar in September will cover how to record your education in Merit. Then, in October, we will be offering a webinar for individuals that manage a facility site profile. Thank you so much for joining us. We will now open up for any questions or comments.